So, I'm doing a series of unlisteds, which basically is I post the video, it's unlisted. I put the link in the community tab. You get the link, you watch it. When I feel like I'm tired of this, I will take the link down because I just don't have no time for them talking about this conspiracy and how they should get out. Anyway, there's that. So I just finished a video about the US. I feel like it's the real Pluto return for the US because the moon is in Aquarius for the chart that I see. And so like these changes to the US like are going to be very like close to the US's heart, and it may actually reveal the true nature of the US. Like the US, I feel like it's like a cold ass motherfucker. Like, but the true nature is that it has a vision for the world that it has acted on, for better or for worse, and it don't really care if you don't like it. And that's one of the things with activism in general that I like mentioned before, not in these videos, but like it's inherently selfish to do any sort of activism because you really are banding together with other people who believe that their vision of what the world should be is better for the world than what the world actually is currently. And I feel like people don't understand that there is a bit of egoism in activism. Regardless of what side you stand on, there's a bit of egoism because you literally are raising money and putting funds to push a certain agenda, and eventually what you are trying to do is compete. And people, regardless of what side you are on whatever issue, usually political, whatever political spectrum you side you on, you are trying to push an agenda, you are trying to push your point across, and a lot of people are not trying to hear no collaboration type shit. So I think a lot of activism needs to kind of just reckon with that idea that I want the world to look like this, and I think this is the better vision of the world, and I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna make it the better vision of the world, and I'm gonna work with people who think it's the better vision of the world, and we're gonna make it the better vision of the world. We're gonna make it the vision of the world that we want. That's what it is. How expansive that vision of the world gets, you know, how much it interferes with other people's vision of the world and what they have going on in their reality, you know, those are the questions I think that Aquarius does best with, like trying to solve. So yeah, I think they're even better than Capricorn. Pisces doesn't really concern itself with that. But like the leftover residuals of Aquarius kind of do force it to like think about those things. Anyway, so this video is about countries and charts and things I felt and things I just am like, So I said in the first video, the first unlisted, that the Spanish speaking world and the French speaking world I think are going to be very shaken up. One of the countries I feel like it's going to be shaken up in the next it's not really going to be Pluto in Aquarius, it'll be Pluto in Pisces. It's Mexico. Mexico I think has a Pluto in Pisces type thing going on. Hold on. But I think a lot of their stuff. Let me see. Where your Pluto at? Yeah, their Pluto is in Pisces. That's what I thought. Their Pluto is in Pisces. And so I think they have to do, I think Mexico is going to have to do a lot of identity work. I think Latin America is going to have to do a lot of identity work. They do. I just see a lot of identity work, and I think a lot of warring, fighting that is not U.S. kind of led has to kind of be dealt with, because I kind of feel like, so on here, the chart that I have on Astro Theme, forgive me if it's not the right chart, but this moon in Taurus leads me to believe that really a lot of Mexicans may be very drawn to the land. It's very paternalistic and very patriotic. But there just may be some illusions about the land. I have my own opinions. I haven't already expressed these to people personally. But the ideas about sovereignty and land is something that I think Mexico is going to have to deal with. I feel like ignoring the indigenous in favor of the Spaniard way is something that needs to be addressed. I think that I just think that something needs to be addressed with that. I also got this idea of the plant life down there is very like, I was like, they have a lot of nightshades down there, and I don't know what that's about. So nightshades, they would be, it's from the planet Sola La La La. It's like whatever. It's like, oh God, I'm gonna like look it up, because it's like, I love looking up plant stuff now that I'm like doing it. So, oh my God, like, can you please? Oh God, I can't pronounce it. Solana site, whatever. Anyway, it's SOLANACEAE, and I can't pronounce that for shit, but it's nightshades. So they have a lot of alkaloids, and that is it can be kind of like toxic. Yes, psychoactive. So they have a lot of healing energy with that, but they have a lot of exorcist energy, and I'm not saying it in a bad way. That's not what I'm feeling, but I was just like fascinated. I was like, they have a lot of nightshades down there. What's up? Why do they have, in Latin America in general, like, they have a lot of nightshades? Like, what's up with that? Like, so nightshades, common nightshades, you would know them as potatoes, tomatoes, eggplants. What else do they got? Capsicum. So that's like the peppers. Stuff like that. And I was just like, what is that energy? What is that nightshade energy about? So I don't know if Mexico and Latin America does, for as sunny as it is, does really well with like very heavy energy. Like, it can take a lot of heavy energy, right? It can take a lot of bloodshed. It can take a lot of like stuff, but eventually that stuff needs to get cleared out. And I think Mexico needs to clear out some of its bloodiness, so to speak, some of its nightshade energy. Let's go ahead and call it that. Some of its nightshade energy. This isn't ragging on them. It's just, I feel like nightshade energy, darker energy, needs to be lifted for some reason. And I think it has to do with like the ways that the indigenous were treated by the people who were conquesting, and how that feeds into the bloodline. Other nations I have been looking into. Nigeria I did sense just a little bit. I just think the situation across Africa is kind of like really like but French speaking countries I feel like may, start blowing up, and not blowing up as in like explosives, but blowing up as in like the consciousness around them may increase in the awareness of what's going on, in those countries, may blow up. So French speaking nations in Africa, so that would be like a Senegal, that would be what is it, Mali, the Congo, even though Congo is like more Belgium, but like French speaking kind of places in Africa. France. So Pluto in Aquarius is right on time for when the French Revolution rolled through. So after the US became independent, I mean, the next 20 years or so, it wasn't like it was chilling, so to speak, but like, I feel like people just was so hyped on that Pluto and Capricorn shit that you just totally forgot what happened after that. For me, Pluto and Aries might be the next big one in my opinion, because Pluto and Aries, if I remember correctly, was the Civil War, and I think that, because Pluto, yeah, that may be like, you know, because like we really haven't had wars amongst ourselves here in the US the way that other nations have had. So I mean, like, some nations and some territories have had civil war, like the entire existence of that country has had like some war somewhere or some infighting. And I mean like war, not like little battle, like war, straight up just devastation of places. The US is very like, I guess, blessed to not have had like an extensive, like, ongoing, like 50-year civil war, 100-year civil war. Like places in Europe, like that shit's been going on, you know, like for hundreds of years. Maybe you take like 5 to 10 years, then it's back on again for another 25. Like, you know. But France, let me get my shit together in the seat. I feel like France may be that nation. France and Spain, I kind of feel like something with them. I know, like, the Danish, was it the Danish that just abdicated the throne? I just feel like Spain, because it's Spanish speaking, that energy of conquest, it needs to kind of settle itself and deal with Latin America. Something interesting that happened was, like, for the first time, they had the Latin Grammys in Spain, which was kind of like contentious for some people who were in the New World, the Latin America, because they were just like, most of the artists that are getting recognition and getting blown up are from our region of the world. Why are we having it here in Europe, right? And so there's a disconnect between how they see their identity, which is something that I think needs to be discussed. As an African American, that ain't me. But there we go. So we got Spain, France. The leadership in France needs to be careful as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I feel like the lead. I'm just leaving it at that. I was like, you see what happened with the Haitian leader and the former Japanese leader. I just think that the French one needs to be okay. Also, pause. Another country that is very like much on my radar is Canada, because people just don't understand. Like, Canada has like some very trippy ass energy, and I feel like it's massive. Like, I feel like Canada has a really angry ass like energy, and I don't know what that's about. Like, but let me see. Canada. There's something with Aries in there that I was like, why? Anyway, wow, this gets looked up. And they are also a Cancerian nation, as far as I see. I'm going to be on Astro. So it's like some places put it as a Cancer, because they say July. Oh, that's not it. So it may be a Leo, but I think it's so they have a few different charts. They have the chart July 1st, which is Cancer, 1867. So Pluto would be in, where's Pluto for that? Pluto is in Taurus. So it's just after the, so yeah. So yeah. they got some interesting energy. I feel like they have some very angry energy, to be honest, despite it having a lot of Cancerian. But I feel like they got a lot of angry energy. Just a lot. Oh, they got. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. I like looking. Oh, they got Saturn. Oh, is that Saturn or is that Jupiter? No, they got Jupiter in Pisces, which is not that bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah. As far as like the political shit with Canada, like on real tip, not like just astrology, like there's been some trippy ass shit. So I feel like Mexico, Canada, France, French speaking, Spanish speaking, nations, we need to keep an eye out. But Canada is like one of them things. I would be surprised if the French speaking part really starts to advocate to be its own thing. I just wouldn't. I feel like the leadership over there also needs to be careful. And I feel like they are becoming what I think people feared the U.S. would be. And the reason why it's not as visible is because people just keep focusing on the U.S. But people like really need to be looking at what's happening up there, because there's a lot of shit, a lot of scary shit actually, that is kind of creeping into the energy and the timelines with Canada. Another nation that I've been looking into and been interested in is Haiti. I do think Haiti will get some form of reparations, but their Pluto is in Pisces. They got a lot of spiritual exorcisms that need to happen. I believe they are the Neptune and Scorp generation or something like that. It's something with Scorpio with them. It's something. I'm looking at the astral theme. So January 1st, 1804. That's their shit, right? So they are a sun in Cap. They got a moon in Virgo. And then a sun in Cap. What is in here? What is Scorpio? Where is that Scorpio? They Neptune is in Scorpio. They gotta deal with their energy. I think that a lot of their spiritual systems have been corrupted personally. And they have to pay that back. More so, people I think they have to pay France, which they do. They did have to pay France back, and they consistently have paid France back for like centuries now because of that loss. But I think that on a spiritual level, they've had to pay back whatever energy they were using. Yeah, like they got to pay that back. And then I also think they have to weed out the corrupted energies of power. And I don't mean that on a political level, but I'm just like energetic workings, how they naturally seek to resolve issues. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to the spirit realm to do that, like, yeah, like work is neutral, so to speak, right? Like, you know, you putting something on someone for them to die, like it's kind of a neutral thing in the terms of life, but in the terms of energy, you have to pay that back regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like regardless of if it goes through or not, like you have to pay that back. And I think that there's a lot of things that may have been explored, continue to be explored, that have to be paid back from them. So they gonna have to pay it back. And they about their cash too. Like whoever gets in power for them needs to be about their money. But it's gonna be like a lot of them is they about their power. And I don't know, like they need stronger political people, but I kind of feel like they need political people that aren't corrupted but driven by just solely power, because it's like it's a greediness that's coming through, because they have like They got, it looks like the Venus is there, the Mercury is there, the Sun is there, the Mars is there. This is from Astro Theme. It's something troubling about like them having perpetual like leaders that are about like that chronically keep classism going, or some sort of classist like dominant, like it's something with class. Their Jupiter was Scorpio, their Neptune is Scorpio. I'm kind of glad they're not conjunct based on this, because I would be very kind of like concerned about how they get rid of leaders or how they settle disputes, because it's just like, well, we can just replace them like that with violence. Like every time something goes wrong, we can replace them with violence. I kind of feel like that spacing helps a little bit, but that idea of replacing people with violence is like very much ingrained, right? They literally fought for their thing. Uranus and Saturn, they're not conjunct, but they're together. They are about the natural order of things, I feel like. And the natural order of things does include violence. But they do... They need leadership that really live the ideals that they be talking about. That live the ideas they be fighting for. I feel like more than anything, they're a country that needs that. They need people in place, even if it's not just like political, like just in daily life, that uphold the vision that they say. So yeah, Mexico, Haiti, Canada, France, Spain, a little bit of Nigeria. I wasn't feeling anything for Asia. I feel like I said in the second unlisted, like Russia at some point, just because we need like 100. Let me see. What's that? Calculator. Da-na-na. Okay. Okay, that's kind of not what I needed. It's like I kind of did the wrong thing. Plus like 120-ish. So about 2040-ish, they may go through another like revolution. I don't know what that means, but so yeah, these are the unlisteds that I have right now. I have more topics, I just don't feel like talking no more, because I done talked like over an hour for 3 videos, or close to an hour for 3, no, like an hour for 3 videos, and it's gonna be just a nightmare to upload these. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm tired of shit. Bye.